Every now and then, there's just one of those players that makes an absolute jaw-dropping performance. One of those games that takes the entire sports world by notice. And that's exactly what happened with Trevor Lawrence. Despite the fact that he's only a freshman, he looked like he had been playing in the NFL for decades. Let's get into some of his best plays. On this play, Alabama's going to be rushing 5 defenders. However, they also have another defender keeping an eye on Clemson's halfback. If the halfback breaks out and runs a route, then that defender will follow the halfback. However, if he stays the block, then his assigned defender will rush the passer. And since he is going to be blocking on this play, that means that there's essentially going to be a 6-man rush. Alabama's playing a cover 1 hole, and this is the route concept that Clemson's going to be running. As you see, they have a sail concept at the bottom half of the screen, which is really designed to beat zone coverage. Meaning the only real route that would be good against man coverage would be Justin Ross's. But look at how quickly Lawrence figured this out. He's almost instantly looking to Ross and ready to make a throw there. While I know the story of this play was really Ross's great play and also the Alabama defender getting hurt, I also thought it did a really good job of showing how quickly Lawrence can make reads. This play was another good example of him making a very good read. As you see, Alabama's in a double A gap on this play, meaning they have 6 men on the line. There's typically 2 things you would see a team do on this play. Either have 6 men rush the passer, or have the 2 linebackers that are in the center of the screen drop back in coverage. However, Alabama's going to be doing something a little bit different. They're going to have both of the guys who were lined up as edge rushers drop back into coverage instead. This is an attempt to fool Clemson's offensive line and also fool Lawrence. This play is going to be a cover 2 zone with a shadow on Ross. However, one thing worth noting is Ross is the only eligible receiver on the top half of the screen. And since Alabama knows that there is going to be a shadow on that receiver, they're going to essentially creep to the bottom half of the screen and not spend as much focus on the sideline on the top half of the screen. And once again, Lawrence looks like he's Tom Brady reading this play. I mean, he almost instantly notices that he has a receiver downfield, and he makes a great throw, and Ross, of course, makes a great catch, and it leads to a big gain. I feel like there's been this odd narrative that Lawrence got bailed out a lot by his receivers. However, I really don't think that's the case. While Clemson does have good receivers, I thought Lawrence did a great job of making things easier on his receivers, not the other way around. As you see here, this is similar to the first play I showed you, where Alabama has a linebacker designed to watch Clemson's halfback. If the halfback runs a route, he follows the halfback. If the halfback is blocking, he rushes the passer. This is going to be a cover 1 man concept with Alabama double teaming a Clemson receiver. As you see, this is the route concept Clemson's running, and it's actually not the best route concept to beat man coverage. There's really only one route that's designed to beat man coverage, and there's really not going to be a big window for Lawrence to try to fit it through. However, Lawrence once again quickly reads what his option is and is able to hit Ross for a big gain. While yes, once again, it is a great play by Ross because Ross is a great player, it was a great play that most players wouldn't have even had a chance to make. Most quarterbacks would not have been able to read that play that quickly and make that good of a throw. But Lawrence did, and it was a huge reason they were able to pick up that big gain. One of the things that I like about Lawrence is not only does he make great reads, but he has confidence in himself. And I'll show you what I mean with this play. The first thing to note is Alabama's linebacker in the middle of the screen. It's kind of similar to the plays they ran earlier, where they had a linebacker watch the halfback, and if the halfback is blocking, they rush the passer, and if the halfback runs a route, they follow the route. However, on this play, it's a little bit different. Once again, if the halfback does run a route, then that Alabama linebacker should follow him. However, if he's blocking, then he's simply just going to stay in coverage. And since Clemson does have a halfback blocking, this is going to essentially allow Alabama to have an extra defender in coverage. So it's a cover 2 man, but with that linebacker taking away the middle of the field. It's actually a pretty great concept, because despite it being a cover 2 man, it gives you a chance to have a linebacker take away the middle of the field, which is typically the biggest weakness in a cover 2 man. As you see, this is the route concept that Clemson's going to be running, and T. Higgins could be open in the back of the end zone. However, Lawrence is going to have to make a throw over an Alabama linebacker, which is very much not an easy play to make. But despite that, he ends up throwing an absolute strike while getting hit for a touchdown. It was a tremendous play, and Trevor Lawrence makes a lot of tremendous plays, and it's one of the reasons why he's now a national champion.